this video, we are going to use the linear regression formula. So to do that, we'll open another Excel window. Go to recent. Open up our data. Same data that we had from the previous video. This time to make the graph, we are going to use we're going to use the sell price again. Holding the command key, also highlight building size. So after this, you click on the charts tab and it brings up these different types of charts. You can pick any type, but the type that we're using is the scatter. Pick the mark scatter. So this is our graph right here. Let's make this a little bigger so it's easier to see. Okay, so do a few things to neaten up this graph. Right click, format plot area, line, go no line. Okay, so and the next thing we do, you just click any data plot and select them all, right click, and then you add a trend line. So when you add a trend line, it brings up this window. So you're gonna go to options first, and you want to display the equation of this trend line of the houses. I'm sorry, the square footage of the houses in comparison to the price. So you want to display that equation on the chart, and might as well display the R squared value on the chart, which is just double this, or this squared, I'm sorry. So after that, you go to type, linear, let's make sure, hit OK, and here's our equation. So with this equation, we can basically plug in any y value, and we'll get a certain x value, which basically is just a way to project how the size of the building affects the price. So I want to first enlarge this just so see it a little better. Change it to 12. Okay. Also, so just to do a few things with the graph again, you want to let's just format everything. So format this axis. The biggest number that we have is around 16 million, 17 million. So we'll make the max 17 million. Sorry. And the min, since it can't be negative, will be 0. Okay. So that's that line, or that axis. So then we're going to do the vertical axis. Again, format. This time again, you can't have it negative, so 0. And this time, the biggest is a little under 145,000, so that's what we'll change it to 145,000. And that will make our graph a little neater. So now we want to add a title to this graph, and also titles to the axis. So to do that, you want to go to chart layout. You see these tabs called axis titles. The horizontal axis title. This is sell price. So we'll just call it that. And we'll make this 14. Okay, and then just redo that again. So this time regular access, and this is the building size in squared feet. Again, just double click, change that to 14. Okay, also, last thing will be the chart title. So we just call this sales price versus building size. So now the chart looks really good. Well, now at this point you can use this equation right here, plug in basically any value for the x and the y, which will yield a certain answer. So for example, for example, say we wanted to plug in or find out what under this trend, what how much square feet you would get for a house if you spent $20 million. So if you plug 20 million into this X value right here, you multiply times 0.0089, which gives you 178,000. You subtract the 9,048.4, which will give you 168,951.6. So the data shows that if I would have spent $20 million on this house, it would have been that big of a square footage, 168,951.6 square feet. So you can do pretty much plug in any type of value for that X, and also it can go the same way for the Y value. For instance, if say I wanted to plug in the Y value instead of the X value, say I plugged in, or say I wanted to see how much it would cost me to get a house that was 200,000 square feet, or just a building in general that was 200,000 square feet. Okay, well first you have this Y value already plugged in. So basically you just do basic math. So first you add 9,048.4 to the other side, which will give you 209,048.4. So at that point, you divide both sides by 0.0089, which to get x by itself, which the value gives you 23. I'm sorry, 23,488,584.27 would be the cost of a $200,000 square foot building. So again, the data can show multiple things, just depending on what you want to use it for. So this is a tutorial for linear regression and how it's going to be helpful to you using Excel.